welcome back to another episode of Happiness Matters, the show, with your host, Mo, the service dog, who is happily chewing on his favorite toy, his candy corn, and me, Beanie Man. And today we have Rhonda Courtney here.
Hi.
And we met kind of, sort of, no, we didn't meet networking. We met at Gary Barnes's Business Breakthrough Mastery, it's a long thing, boot camp in August.
Yes.
And thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
It's just exciting. So I love it when my peeps come down from not Colorado Springs. She's actually from Denver. Mm-hmm. And you're a real estate agent.
I am.
And you just published a book.
Yes.
I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
And I had the privilege of getting the manuscript.
Yes.
And I was like, wow. So tell us a little bit about you. Are you like a native to Colorado? What got you into real estate? And then, of course, I want to hear a little bit with the book. Because it's part of your story.
Yeah, I'm a Colorado native.
Yay.
So I grew up a lot in Oklahoma as well.
Okay.
Graduated from Oklahoma State. And I was in the hotel business for 10 years. So I have a hotel restaurant degree from Oklahoma State. And I did the hotel business for 10 years. And then I decided that I wanted to get into real estate. Like everyone else.
That's a shift.
Right? So got into real estate, and I've been selling real estate Denver metro area for 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time. I did mortgages for not even a year. Hey,
Hard business.
It just wasn't for me. It wasn't my purpose.
Right.
Right. But it's like, I know I've talked to some real estate people, because I have a bunch of friends that are real estate agents, mm-hmm. and you can tell the ones that are really in it because they love it, yes. And the ones that are in it, well, they're in it.
For the money. Golden handcuffs.
Right.
That's what I talk about.
I love it. I love it. And that's actually on your book, too.
Yes.
So, and I can tell, but it's like, you really light up when you talk real estate. Mm-hmm. That is...
It's not really the real estate as much as it's helping the people. Helping them get what they want. It's all
about the people.
It's all about people for me.
I love that. Mm-hmm. I love it because I'm all about people. Mm-hmm. I'm all about
That's
the people.
That's why we're friends.
I know, right?
That's why we get along.
Wait, collect. So it was funny. So her and Dominique, which I did a show with a little while ago, mm-hmm. You guys were sitting behind us, and we came in late because I had a thing that Friday morning, and Mr. Mo, my trader dog. He went and made friends right away.
He was with me.
I think he spent more time with you guys than he was hanging with me. It's like, really? Love you too.
He had a new friend.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. I love that. And so, and I know when we met in August, you were thinking about maybe writing a book.
So I had written one, but it was with a friend of mine, and it was his perspective on my story. Well, then he decided, but then he decided
that's an interesting concept.
He's a realtor too.
Oh, okay.
And so then he decided that it just wasn't for him. So we rewrote it in my perspective, and then I rewrote it again.
Oh,
so it was kind of a 3-year process to write that book.
Okay, well that's cool. Yeah. 3 years is not bad. I know some people, my book was in the making really for decades.
Hey,
I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
But when it went, and that's the thing, is like, so was it scary to get that process started?
It was because I went to the bottom of my career in my life. And so everything imploded all at once. Mm-hmm. And so when I picked myself back up, I decided to write about it. I thought if I wrote about it, it would help other people through if they had a struggle like I did, it would help them up too. And so really I wrote it. Actually, my mom said, I never really thought you'd publish it. I thought you were just writing it for therapy. I'm like, oh yeah. Well, and I did. A lot of it I wrote because I just needed to get it out. Mm-hmm. But, so it was therapeutic. But then I finally really did publish it. So
I love it. And, and I said it many times before on the show, Lisa Nichols said, your story is not yours to keep.
Right.
And I love that.
That's a good saying.
I love that because, we think, it's like, oh, nobody wants to hear that. Oh, I'm the only one going through this.
Right.
No and no.
Right.
People need to hear the struggles, and need to hear what we've gone through, and also put in this, like, and this is what we've done to come out of it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really important. There's a bunch of books out there that are just like boo-hoo, hoo-hoo-hoo. Right. Poor me, poor me, poor me. And I'm like, okay, great. Mm-hmm. No,
Yeah.
you know, it does nothing.
Right.
You know, I like the books that, you know, that take the reader, or it's like when we speak, you know, we take them down. It's like, hey, this is where where I came from. It's like, whoa, and this is what I did to come back up.
Yes.
And if I can do that, so can you.
Right.
You know, and with a book like yours, you know, you have the tips in it. It's a workbook. I like it too.
Is, yeah.
You know, I was like, and I actually did that too.
Oh, I like that.
So
good.
and even though I'm not in real estate,
Right.
but here's what I like about your book. It works for everybody.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if it's a business owner, if it's an employee, it doesn't matter. It really works for everybody.
It's for
And
everyone.
that's what I love.
I tried to write it where...
You tried?
Oh, I did. Oh, Gary. If your clients is watching this. Hi, Gary. He's my business coach. We're not allowed to say I tried. Ever.
Well, there's no try. You either do it or you don't. And it's
okay.
funny, I've been saying that before I even met Gary.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, really, you tried?
Oh.
Try. And what I usually do, and that's what my friend Barbara did to me, because I said, well, I'm trying. And she goes, try to pick up that cup. And of course, I went and picked it up, and she looks at me, she goes, I didn't tell you to pick it up. I said, try.
Oh, interesting.
You either do or you don't. And I do that with people when they do the try.
Uh-huh.
And I tell them, pick this up. And they're like, what? I said, just pick it up. I say, try to pick that up. I put the try in there on purpose. So I said, try to pick that up, and they're looking at me kind of like, what? And they pick it up, and I said, I didn't tell you to pick it up. I said, try to pick it up.
Good point. Yes.
And I just get that. Oh.
So I didn't even try on my action steps in this book. Just so you know,
They just
wrote them.
Yeah,
there you go. So I talk about how I went to the bottom of my career and my life, and actually the action steps to pick yourself back up.
Right.
Workbook steps to have a life. And then at the end, I did a gratitude journal. 31 days gratitude journal. And I talk about that all the time, is how did I get through my bad times? I focused on 3 really good things every single day, what I was grateful for. And so when my life was really stressful, that's all I looked at were those 3 things all day.
I love that. So I'm sure our viewers are curious. It's like, what's the book about?
The Survival Guide to Selling Real Estate.
I love that. But it's really about a work-life balance.
It is.
And that's why I'm saying it's written from real estate perspective, and it's geared towards the real estate market and the realtors, you know, but because of work-life balance, I mean, what you write about in the steps, they really help so much. Because some of the stuff, it's like, yeah, I needed that, like, you know, a few months ago.
Yeah, because I talk about you can't get the time back.
Right.
If you're working 7 days a week, hey Mo, if you're working 7 days a week, what's the point?
Right.
You can't be with your friends and your family, and you're never going to get the time back.
And I call it the hamster wheel.
Yes, I talk about that in the book too.
I call it the hamster wheel, and you know, most people are running on this hamster wheel, and so hamster wheel and autopilot are my 2 things.
Yeah.
Okay, we're running on autopilot on that hamster wheel, and we think if we work harder, if we work more, we get to what we want. No, we just run faster on that hamster wheel and still get nowhere, which is wear ourselves out faster.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. It's like that unconscious running on that hamster wheel, because we think consciously, well, if I do more, if I work more hours, if I work, you know, through the weekends, through the nights, and I get more business. I'm more productive, and I get more blah blah blah. No, you don't.
You don't.
You don't. Because the only thing you do is you wear yourself out.
Yes.
You know, and it's like, what do you do with your cell phone? You have to charge it every so often.
Right. And you have to unplug it.
You have to unplug it. You have to restart it.
Right.
You know, you have to do certain things so it runs smoothly. Well, we have to do the same thing. And the first thing is really, it's like, be aware that running faster and doing more will not get you more.
No.
It actually gets you less.
It does.
It gets you less. Yeah. You know, and it's like, and focus and recharge.
Well, we don't have the time, and I talk about this in the book.
Because we're not AT&T, we do not have rollover minutes.
I wish we did, but we don't. But I talk about, especially in the real estate industry, any high-stress industry, you know, I had a friend that had a heart attack. Now, if he thought that
he wasn't all that old.
No, he wasn't. But he was very stressed out with real estate, hamster on a wheel, I talk about golden handcuffs to make a lot of money, so you're constantly working. You're not doing what you're supposed to do, and you're not taking care of yourself.
Right.
And so the book is a survival guide to anybody that works 7 days a week that thinks, well, I'm going to work really, really hard for 3 years, and then I'm going to take a break.
No.
Do you have 3 years?
No.
Does your health
because,
have it?
because here's the thing. Then you want more and more and more and more and more
Right?
and more.
How much is enough?
Right.
Right.
Exactly. You know, and most people they're really falling into this trap.
They are. And it's a bad trap. And I fell into it. And then when I went to the bottom of my life because of that, now I don't do that. Now everything is downsized. I manage things better. I take time for my life, my friends, my family, their priority. The money's not priority anymore.
No.
And it never will be again.
And the thing too is like when we're stressed out and frustrated, it permeates into everything in our life.
It does.
You know, I mean, it's not just that we're stressed out with the job.
Right.
Now we're frustrated, and then we get angry, and we take that home. We take that, you know, to our friends. We take that everywhere.
Our family suffers.
Right. I mean, it's just not a good cycle.
It's not. And you know, something that was said to me very recently was pretty life-changing. I had a friend that said to me, "It is so nice to go to lunch with you, and you are not always on your phone." I was so rude. I was doing so many deals. I didn't get any help, so I was always on the phone. So if I was sitting with my friends, I wasn't engaged. I was there, but I wasn't present in my life.
Right.
Because I was always working some deal. I was never focused on the moment or there for my friends and family. I was on that phone all the time.
You know, and we do that a lot, especially when we have our own business.
Yes.
You know, we forget about the people.
Yes, we do.
We're so focused on, it's like, oh, I wonder if the deal went through because I really need the money because I need to pay my mortgage and da 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 da. And we're not focused in the moment. No. You know, and the power of now is huge. And I actually I think I did a podcast, Beanie Bits, on that, and I might have done a show on this one too, but it is so important to be present and to be here and be engaged and not worry about what might be or what was.
Right.
Because what was, that's the word, was.
Yes.
You know, can you do something about it? Yes, well then do something about it. No, let it go.
Exactly.
And we don't know what's happening a minute from now.
Right.
We don't have a clue.
Gotta live in the moment right now.
We have right now. Right now we control what we think, what we feel, you know, and all of those things. And it's just so many people forget that. And, you know, I notice it because power of awareness, you know, when you talk to people, especially networking. Let's take networking for an instant. You talk to people, they're not there.
No.
They are not there. They're too worried about you becoming a customer.
Right.
They're too worried about what they're saying. They're too worried about, you know, the bills that they have to pay. They're too worried about all of those things, but they're not focused on the person they're actually talking with.
Right.
Have you noticed that?
I have.
That's sad.
But if you focus on the person you're actually talking to and you care about them, they're gonna do business with you. People do business with people that they like, that they connect to.
What?
Yes. And that has been the key to my success in real estate. And I talk about that. I network, but I care about people.
Right.
And they know that. And so they want to use me to buy and sell their homes because I'm not focused on getting their business. I'm focusing on getting to know them. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So
and it's important.
It is so important.
It's important.
Yes.
You know, because it's like we meet so many people and we're so focused on either selling them something or, you know, how are you different from me?
Right.
You know, all of that garbage. It's really garbage.
It is.
You know, let's focus on, hey, what do we have in common?
Right. Well, and I also think, and you and I talked about this, when you don't focus on the money, when you focus on that person, you're going to be more successful. The money will always come.
Yes.
It will always come.
Yes.
And so focus on that person, not on the money.
Right.
And I think that was the kind of the key to my success. And I talk about that a lot in the book. I mean, I don't focus on the money. In fact, my business coach is always like, Rhonda, you got to charge more. Rhonda, focus on the money a little bit.
It's like charge something.
Come on.
You know, it's like something.
Yeah.
And to a point, yes, you should.
Of course.
You know, we all should.
Yeah.
But I mean, and I get that because when it's your passion,
It is my passion.
you know, it's like we just want people to get
Yeah.
the info, you know, and get what we experience.
Right.
I get that.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I don't know about you, sometimes it gets so frustrating, I'm like, I cannot break it down into simpler terms.
Yes. It's very frustrating. I don't know how to.
And we're moving on.
Yes.
And sometimes you just have to, because some people they're just not in the frame of mind. You know, they're still stuck in that on the hamster wheel, and the scarcity.
Yes.
You know, and all of that. And the thing is, and I was there for a long time.
Me too.
I was there for a long, long time. And then I realized it's like, whoa, everything we want already exists.
Yeah.
There's more than enough of everything for everybody.
Yeah, there was a realtor on my support page. I run a real estate support page, and there was a realtor that put on there. Oh, hello, Mo.
Mo just had it, and he just flopped over to the side. It's
This
like,
is
okay,
exhausting for him. But anyway, she had put on there that realtors should not hang out with other agents because the competition. We're competing against each other. No, not true. If you're willing to help other people, you will be successful. You and I talk about that too.
Absolutely.
We gotta help. We gotta help.
And here's the thing too. I love hanging out with other like mindset coaches, life coaches, whatever you want to call them. Because here's the thing. I know I'm not a match for everybody. You are not a match for everybody.
For sure. No.
But you know what? By us knowing other realtors, other coaches,
right.
Let me connect you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let me connect you.
Yeah. I coach the agents that they're in the mindset of, I've been doing this a really long time. I don't want to work 7 days a week. I want a better way.
Right.
I'm a good coach for them. New agents, I'm a good coach for new agents too. But the agents in the business that don't want to change, that won't put their cell phones down, they want to work 7 days a week.
It doesn't matter what you say. What
They
you
only
do,
care about the
unless they have a life-altering experience.
I hope they don't. I hope they don't.
I
have
hope
my
they don't.
experience.
I hope they don't.
So,
I really do.
yeah, me
But
too.
that's
Oh.
anywhere.
Right.
You know, people won't change until the universe has really knocked them down. And again, and I talk about that in other shows too. The lessons repeat themselves.
Yeah.
The universe has lessons for us. We get lessons, or God, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. The gist of it is the same. You know, we have lessons to learn.
Yes.
If we don't learn them, they come back. And the universe, or God, whatever you call it, says, oh, let me add a little something to get your attention.
Right.
Oh, you still didn't get it? Here, have a little more, and more, and more, and more, and more. And eventually it becomes so much.
Right.
We can't ignore it, and we don't ignore it, but the problem is, we get knocked down so far, and so hard,
Yes.
and then we go into this victimhood. It's like, poor me, why did this happen to me? What did I do to deserve this?
I did that for a while.
Been there, done that.
We all have, right?
Been there, done that.
Chapter 2 in my book.
Right. But it's like, but we didn't know what we know now.
No, we didn't.
You know, I didn't have the awareness. I was just so like, why is this happening to me? Poor me, poor me, poor me, poor me. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not saying things don't happen anymore. They still do, but because of different mindset.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, okay, crap. What's the lesson? What do I need to learn? You know, and because I'm me, I said, apparently I don't get it. Give me a little extra help. Wham! Here you go.
Happens.
It doesn't fail.
Oh, it doesn't.
You know, but the thing is, it's like if we don't pay attention, and our body is really the best, I don't even know what you call it, beacon, or I don't even know. English is my second language, so I don't know the word right now. I can't think of it, but our body lets us know when things are out of sorts.
Yes.
Our body lets us know when we talk to somebody and we have this feeling in our stomach where our stomach just turns, but we tend to ignore it sometimes because what they're telling us is so good.
Right.
You know, and then we pay the price later because we didn't listen to the signals.
Yeah, I talk about that in the book, that
So-
a lot of people, a lot of agents don't change unless their body, like, heart attack.
Unless they again,
Yes.
you know, get hit so hard.
So hard.
It's
hard.
so obvious
Mhm.
that they have to do something. And sadly, a lot of times it's too late.
Yeah.
It is too late. I mean, when the big whammy comes,
Yes.
you know, if you walk away alive and you know, with everything intact and stuff, you're lucky.
Yeah.
You're
I
lucky.
was lucky that mine was just public humiliation.
Right.
It wasn't, you know.
But that was pretty
But it was
big.
bad. I mean, it was bad.
It was awful.
It was awful.
Sucked. Okay.
It was awful. But you know what, Beanie? It wasn't a heart attack.
No, it wasn't.
And it wasn't a brain tumor like
No.
one of my other friends. It wasn't that.
But did you get little signals beforehand? And then every time it came a little
yeah.
more, and it became a little more
yeah.
until then.
I talk about that.
Right.
I didn't see things. I mean, and full disclosure, if you guys read my book, you're gonna hear this
Well,
anyway.
but here's the,
You know.
sometimes we don't want to see because we want to believe.
I didn't want to see the truth in my life. And I worked 7 days a week to hide from my life. There was so many things that I should have listened to that I didn't. But then
that hamster wheel,
but
man.
that hamster wheel kept running and running and running on it and then never got ahead. So I'm selling a ton.
What, you didn't get ahead on a hamster wheel?
No.
What?
I know. I think we think we're gonna.
What?
Yeah, because you think you can run.
So you ran
7 days
faster?
a week. I ran so fast.
And you still went nowhere.
No, because I was on a hamster wheel.
Funny how that
I
works.
know, right? It's crazy, right? Yeah. Now I look at it like I wouldn't get on a hamster wheel for anything. I don't even like to get on a treadmill.
That all right?
I don't even like that.
That's funny.
Oh, I
That's
just,
funny.
yeah.
No,
So,
but no, I get it. Yeah.
so now my life is in perspective now. And I'm engaged in my life and present with my friends and family.
And
it did, you know.
in charge.
Yeah.
Taking charge.
I take charge. Yes.
Responsibility.
That's a hard one, isn't it?
Ooh, that's hard.
Yeah.
Because it's like, once you realize that you're responsible like for everything in your life,
Yes.
the good, the bad, the ugly.
Uh-huh. Well, the biggest lesson that I got out of it was learning to say no. I talk about this in the book all the time. If you learn to say no, you say yes to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we say yes to ourselves more? Why don't we do things for ourselves more? Because we're so busy doing everything for everybody else.
Well, it's also how we're conditioned.
Right? Because you feel guilty if you do stuff for
Oh,
yourself.
because then you're selfish.
Right.
No.
No, we need
I
to
mean,
be
they're selfish and they're selfish.
Right.
You know, if you're selfish in a healthy way, making sure you're okay,
Yeah.
and your needs are met, you know, and you come from the right place, and I always call it the place of love and gratitude.
Yeah.
You know, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
But if you come from the selfish place and take, and
Right.
gimme, and, you know, step over bodies to get what you
A
want,
lot of those people.
that's
out
a
there.
problem.
It is.
That's not
It
that
is.
the selfish we're talking about.
Right. Right.
But it's so ingrained in us. You know, I mean, growing up, oh, don't do that. What will the neighbors think? Or, oh, go help the neighbor. You know,
Right.
and it's like, it's
Yeah.
not, no.
So
But it's
yeah.
so ingrained in us,
It
and
is.
it's that belief, and you know, if you tell a lie, 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 eventually it becomes belief. It becomes not truth, but people
Right.
believe it as truth.
So
But it's still
yeah,
a lie.
It's the airplane. I talk about this too. The airplane. Like, aren't you supposed to give yourself oxygen first, even before your child?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Exactly.
Because if you don't give yourself oxygen first,
Right.
you can't help that other person. So it's not selfish to take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself,
You can give.
how are you going to give to
Right.
everyone else?
Exactly.
You
Right.
just can't.
No, absolutely. And I talk about it in my book. It's like you cannot pour from an empty cup.
I love that saying.
You,
That's
you,
one of
you
my favorite
can't pour from an
sayings.
empty cup. And it's
No.
like, but be careful what you put in your cup.
Yeah.
Because whatever's in your cup will spill out when you get bumped. And we all get bumped.
We do.
I get bumped. Because there's a lot to bump into. But whatever's in my cup, you know, I mean, before it was anger, envy, frustration, all of those ugly things. Now it's love, kindness, compassion, you know, some frustration because I'm human,
Yeah.
but it's very little. But when I get bummed, what comes out, it's more like, okay, wait a minute, what happened here? You know, it's not like, you did this to me, blah.
Right.
It's just no.
Yeah.
You know, initially it might be like, but then I stop immediately.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, it's like, what's in the cup?
Like
That's
that.
what comes out.
Mhm.
So, I mean, if you put red wine in a glass and you spill it, well, you spill red wine everywhere.
That's a shame.
I know, right? That's
Yes.
alcohol abuse.
That's bad. You should never spill your wine. Oh.
But, you know, the thing, and here's the other thing too, and I thought about that the other day. So you have a glass full of red wine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's use the red wine as a metaphor for all the ugly and the bad.
Okay.
Because I don't like red wine. I'm a white wine girl, so
Oh, okay.
there. So we go with that.
Okay, we'll go
Okay.
with that.
So you have this glass, and then you pour in white wine on top.
Mm.
What happens?
It turns like pink, doesn't it? Like a rosé?
For a little while. But what
Yeah.
happens eventually? There's no red left,
Oh, right.
right?
Yeah.
So we can have all that anger and frustration, everything inside of us right now.
Mm-hmm.
But if we start letting the love and the compassion and the kindness and everything else in, and pay attention to that and focus more on that, eventually there's no room for the other stuff.
Oh,
And it'll be
I
gone.
like that.
I smart that
You're so smart that way. I'm gonna try that tonight. I'm gonna take it. No, I'll drink the
Use
red
food
wine.
coloring.
Oh, not the red wine?
No, that'd be alcohol abuse.
Oh.
I just used that as an example.
Okay.
But I mean, whatever liquid, you can use, you know,
Yeah.
put in water and put in like a couple drops of food coloring and then just keep pouring.
Perfect.
Or the other thing too is like, you know, have you ever like cleaned out like one of those drink bottles and you put like the laundry soap in?
Yeah.
And then you shake it and you get all these bubbles? How do you get them out? What do you do to get them out? I know what I do, but what do you do to get them out? Seriously.
Tons of water.
You let the water run in.
Yeah, I do.
And then what happens?
All the bubbles come out eventually.
Exactly my
Yeah.
point.
Right.
That's exactly my point.
That's a good point. I like it. You're so smart.
Hey, you know what? That's
See,
like-
I surround myself now with happy people. That's
like
why
it.
Didi and I are friends.
But you know, it took me a long time to understand all that.
Yeah, I had to cut really. I learned to cut out the toxic people in my
Good for
life.
you.
I had to.
I mean, the thing
I
is,
had
if people
to.
don't add value,
Right.
you know, and help lift you up,
Mhm.
there's no room.
No, there's no room for that.
There's no room.
anymore.
Life is too short.
It is.
Well, this life.
It
You know, I mean,
is.
our souls are eternal, so
Yeah.
this life and this body is too short to
It is.
worry about toxic
So if they're
people.
super negative and toxic, I have to cut them out because I have such good friends and good people and a great family. I want time for them.
Mhm.
Why would I surround myself with toxic, negative people?
Because that's how we're conditioned.
Right, but I don't do that anymore.
Good for you.
I have to surround myself with good people now because I've realized my life is so short.
Good for
I
you.
realized it, and so
Hey,
if
you
there's
know what? They say money is important. No, time. Time is
Right.
our most valuable commodity,
I
no matter
agree.
what.
You can't buy it,
You can't buy it.
and I
You
love-
can't roll it over.
No.
Time is our most valuable commodity. So
Yeah.
why spend it with people that tear you down?
Agreed.
You know, and that are toxic and spit poison and all that stuff. I mean, that's just dumb.
It is. I don't do it. I don't have that time
Good
to
for
waste.
you.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
thank you.
No, that's awesome.
Thank
No,
you.
but it's huge.
Yeah.
You know, but a lot of people, I mean, we hang out with people because, I mean, they've been friends, you know, forever and a day.
I cut a girl out of my life that'd been in my life for 20 years.
Good for you.
I did. I couldn't do it anymore. I realized in the last 3 years when everything imploded in my life, I don't have time.
Good for you.
So I did. She was very negative. She just was not a good friend. And I had to do it.
Good for you.
Because if I cut that out of my life, even though it's been 20 years, I need to surround myself with people that lift me up and that I help and that make me happy.
Good for you.
She made me miserable, and she went.
And you know,
I
what's
feel
what's
guilty.
sad is sometimes, I mean, with friends, it's one thing, but when it comes to family, that's a whole nother can of worms.
Can't always do that with your family, but
Yes,
you
you
can.
can.
Well, yeah, you can.
Because
Actually,
you can and you have to.
Yes.
You
You're
can.
right.
Here's the thing: you can and you have to. You know, you probably alienate some of the rest of the family, but that's okay.
Yeah,
That's okay because at the end of the day, it's your life.
it is.
It's your happiness. It's your sanity. It's about you.
I know.
You know, and I cut family out. You know, and
Yeah.
it's tough.
It's harder, but
It is tough.
It's worth it.
But here's the thing. sometimes you just have to.
Yeah, you do.
And I mean, you don't have to say it's like, screw off and whatever. You can do it still in a loving way. You just remove yourself from the situation. You just, back out and stuff like that. It's like, he's like, you know what? It's just not, no.
It's self-care.
It is self-care. And it's like, it's your cup.
Right.
It comes back to the cup. It's your cup.
Yeah.
Because, and it, again, it's tougher with family, but the only reason it's tougher is because how we're conditioned.
I agree. Yeah.
They're people. At the end of the day, they're people.
Can't get the time back.
Can't get your
And
time
a lot
back.
of time they just suck the life
Right
out of you.
Right, and it's like, and if it's constant negativity and it's constant, tearing down or take.
Yeah.
Bye.
I agree.
I love you. I love them.
Right.
It's like, but no, I don't need to be part. You don't need to be part of this.
Right.
I
agree with that.
And I get that, and it's tough.
Oh, I've done it with family. I've done it with friends. I got divorced. I did it all. Because I realized when I was going through everything that my life was so short and I could not spend it one more day on that hamster wheel unhappy. I had to cut it all
Good for
out.
you.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's
and it was
huge.
hard. I'm not going to say it wasn't hard. I can't
No.
lie to anyone.
I mean, it's easy to do, but it's hard to do.
It is so hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
But my life now, I feel like the weight of the entire world was lifted off me when I made that decision.
Isn't it amazing?
It's so good.
Isn't it
It's
amazing?
so good.
Oh, I know.
Yes.
That's how I felt last year when I walked away from everything and decided to be me.
Aww.
It's like, whoa.
Right?
It's huge.
Yeah. You know when you're not in a good place for yourself.
Right.
And when you recognize that and you start to make changes, I think that's when you're really happy in your life. Finally.
Yeah. But the sad thing is, I mean, change is scary.
So hard.
Change
hard.
is scary. But I figured for me, and some of the people I talk to and I share that with, they're like, oh, that makes so much sense. It's scary because it's unfamiliar.
Right.
How was it for you when the first time you sat behind the wheel in your car? Was that not scary? And it was exciting.
Yeah.
But it was also very scary and intimidating.
It was terrifying. I went to my driving test. Not gonna lie. I passed the written, but I flunked the driving.
See what I'm saying? Fear.
Yes, it was scary.
Fear.
Yes.
And now you don't even think about it.
No. Not at all.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Change is only scary because it's not familiar.
Right. True.
When we first started riding a bicycle, it was terrifying. We had the training wheels on it.
Yeah.
And we had our parents hold it. Don't let go, don't let go, don't let go, don't let go. No, we don't even think about it.
No, not at all.
Okay? Right without our hands. Oh, look, I have no hands, no hands. Been there, done that.
Right.
That was a change. It was scary because it was not familiar.
Right.
And the more we do something, it's like, be familiar. Make it familiar. Make it your friend.
Yeah.
It's like, do it scared. I tell people all the time, it's like, it's okay to be scared. Do it scared. Do what I do with fear. I tell fear to go in the back seat and shut up.
Good.
Because I don't have time.
Right.
Because what I do with change, I look at the end result. I'm excited about that. I am more, and I work on being more excited about that than the fear and the doubt and everything that's coming up in my head.
Yeah.
Because if it's not endangering my life, doing me bodily harm, what is there to be afraid of? Seriously.
Yeah.
What is there to be afraid of? People make fun of me? Who? They made fun of me my whole life.
Yeah.
And Toby Keith, I love you. How do you like me now?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
Do it scared, but do it. And nobody says you have to eat the whole freaking elephant in one swish. Take a little bite, and then you take another bite, and another bite, but you keep moving towards that, and always have that end result in mind, because the excitement for that is bigger than the fear.
Yeah. Good point.
All right,
I like it. I like it.
it's just I can talk this stuff all day long.
Yes.
Because it's fun and it's just like, because I've been through that. You know, I was scared. I was afraid. You know, I was that angry and miserable and poor me and all of those things.
Me too. Me too.
We all have, you know, some are there, you know, they wish they could come out. Yes, you can. You have to make a decision. Make the decision.
Yeah. People are scared to make the decision. And I hope that people, after reading that book, make the decision before they have a really horrible event that forces you to make that decision.
Absolutely.
I don't wish what happened to me on anybody.
Right.
You know, but like I said before, I also didn't have a heart attack or suffer the way some of my friends have had to suffer in order for them to make a change. We all
But you
need
know
to.
what, and the thing is, it's like, yeah, heart attack is really drastic, you know, but I wouldn't disregard your situation as not as drastic. It wasn't really life or death,
Right.
you know, but it's just as drastic and dramatic.
I lost a lot of money, lost a lot of stuff, right?
But it's stuff.
But it's stuff. It's stuff. And
but you gained your freedom.
I gained so much.
Right.
I lost so much, I gained more.
But and see, that's the other thing too, as us humans, we're so worried about losing something.
Yes.
You know, that we rather stay in the place of misery.
Oh, we
and
settle.
We settle, yeah.
We settle.
That's a whole other thing.
Oh,
But we're so afraid to lose the little something here that we don't see all the big stuff we can gain over here because we're so afraid of loss.
Right.
And it's just how we're programmed, and it's a program.
It is.
You know, it's how we're conditioned, and it's just how. Yeah, so time to reprogram.
Yeah, I settled for a long time because first of all, back then I didn't feel that I deserved better.
Well, that's another issue. Yes,
that's another show.
That's a whole
other topic.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And I settled because honestly, sometimes settling is easier than letting go of it and starting over. Because you're used to that routine. It's a habit. Like you're used to just...
It's familiar.
It's familiar.
Back to that.
But it's terrible. It's
Right.
terrible. My life is
That's
terrible.
why the worst place to be is in the comfort zone.
Right.
It's the worst place to be.
Yeah.
It's in the comfort zone because there's really nothing comfortable.
No.
It's just we tell ourselves what's comfortable, but we have learned to maneuver within. You know, say you break an arm, or you know, you're so careful you baby that arm.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want anybody bumping into it, and that's what we're doing when we're in that comfort zone. We have learned to maneuver to protect.
Yeah.
You know, so we don't get hurt more.
Right.
Which is BS because we're hurting. We're hurting so much a lot of times.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, yeah, it's a scary place.
It's so scary.
But it doesn't have to be. You know, it's like focus on the good on the other side, on what it is that you want, not what you don't want, because you know what you think about, you bring about.
Yes.
You know, so focus on what you want, and then envision what life will be like on that other side.
Oh.
And yes, it's scary, but do it scared.
Yeah.
Do it scared. Tell the fear, go sit in the back seat and zip it. You're driving.
Yeah.
You're in charge.
I would not trade it. It was awful at the time. Like when I was going through it, I thought, oh my gosh, I will never be the same. My
and you're
life
not.
will be horrible.
And you're not the same, but
not
it's not
same,
horrible.
But
and
my life is great. Because I choose to make it great. I don't focus on what I used to focus on.
Right.
I do my gratitude. 3 things make me happy. Happiness is more important than money, than anything else. Time and happiness.
Yeah.
Those are my 2
and human
things.
connections. Good.
Good,
healthy human connections.
Yes. And don't be afraid to cut people out, like
No.
we talked about. I have no guilt, no apologies anymore.
Me neither. At first, like, well, maybe I'm a horrible person, you know.
Nope.
And I went through it as I was growing. You know, it's like after I made the decision to fight and not kill myself back in 2004. You know, friends that I had fizzled away. And, you know, I made new friends and they fizzled away pretty quickly. And then I made new friends and they fizzled away quickly. And because I didn't know what I know now.
Right. But
you know, and I was like, what's wrong with me? Why can I not hold on to friends? And I thought it was me. Well, in a way it was. But it was, I was growing and they stayed the same.
And don't you also feel like people are brought into your life for a reason?
Oh my God, yes.
At a certain time.
Absolutely.
And maybe they don't stay long. Maybe they're just there for a little bit, just to help you, or you teach them.
Yeah.
But I honestly believe that people are brought into your life for a reason.
Absolutely. I'd say I don't believe in coincidences anyway.
No.
I believe everything happens for a reason. And I also know that everything that happens, I attract at some level, consciously or unconsciously. So that's a tough lesson. And I'm not going to get into that because it took me, I just figured that out, like, not long ago. You know, so I'm still working myself with that. It's like, what do you mean I'm responsible? I didn't bring in MS in my life. I didn't bring lipidemia in my life. I didn't bring that, you know, child abuse in my life and da-da-da-da-da. Well, in a way I did. So, but that's a whole nother...
But everything brought into our lives somehow makes you more effective in helping other people.
Well, it's lessons.
It's lessons.
It's lessons. And to me, everything is a lesson.
Right.
You know, and sometimes the lesson is what not to do, but it's a lesson.
Yeah.
It's to learn from and to grow from.
And you can help someone else from it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yay.
Yeah, we can see. I love talking this stuff.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it is
stuff.
important. It is important, you know, for people to understand. It's like you are not alone.
No.
You are not alone. You know, in the way you think, you feel, and everything. It's like we've been there. We're not there anymore.
No, luckily.
But we've been there. We know what it's like.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like if we can come out, you can too.
Absolutely.
Because you're amazing.
Yes.
So, Rhonda, thank you so much for stopping by, for making this drive, and yay, good weather.
It was great today.
So,
thank you.
And thank you, Mo.
Mo's so cute, guys.
He's just like, whatever.
He's just a happy dog.
He is. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope this was some value for you. As always, be happy, be kind, be loved. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.